10 trends that emerged at the last minute for summer 2025. Starting with trench coat in the short version cropped. That's right. He appeared and is already booming outside of Brazil. Its main feature is that it will take on that more classic look trench coat, but it will bring this more modern feel. After all, we are talking about a short piece, a cropped, which works great for spring as well as summer 2025. I realize that we are going to have this issue of classics coming back into fashion, but a modern classic. In other words, with a slightly more elegant feel. It's not that classic boring dull, that really old thing. No, it's a classic revisited, renewed, modernized. Because of this, we are seeing this phenomenon of trench coat short. Since it's a super classic piece almost every year we come here, especially in winter, and say, the trench coat appeared again. It's a classic piece, right? A very traditional coat. And then we get this short version for the summer. But the summer here in Brazil is usually hot. Really, here in the summer in Brazil, when we talk about heat, it's that intense heat thing unless you live in a mountainous region or further to the south, some regions that are very wooded. And in these regions, it gets very cold, or at the end of the afternoon, the temperature drops. In this case, you will be able to throw yourself into this cute trend without fear of being happy. And fashionistas are already using it a lot. If I'm not mistaken, it was one of those Zara launches that, when it comes out, everyone starts wanting to wear it. If I'm not mistaken, it was Zara that launched it, and now everything in stores is copying this trend. Write it down: short trench coat, cropped version. Trend number 2 is the beige bag. I've already brought several trends in relation to bags here on the channel. In fact, I recently released a 60 trends video where I commented on the brown bag, which is a bag that came to replace the black one. However, we are having it now starting to emerge, Starting to boom the beige bag. That's right. The beige bag is starting to appear more clearly. It makes sense. As I mentioned to you, there is this issue of traditional, of that more elegant thing. Ralph Lauren. I know you've heard on YouTube that this elegant style is disappearing, that this elegant style is going to end, but that's not what I'm seeing, especially outside of Brazil. Outside of Brazil, I am seeing the emergence of other trends, but the traditional, elegant style continues to be on the rise. And nothing more traditional, nothing more elegant than a beige bag, very neutral, without much information, without many accessories, without embroidery, without drawing that very clean. That doesn't mean you can't use a highlight there, right? Some extra detail, a monogram. None of that. Yes, you can have them. But what will appear a lot are these more neutral beige bags. And when we talk about beige, guys, we have a range of beige, okay? We have everything from that beige, more towards the off-white, so it's very light. We have the beige, more towards cream. We have the beige, more towards grayish. So it will depend a lot on which beige suits you, because there are thousands of shades of beige if we search. So go with the beige that best matches your palette, unless you're a bright winter woman who, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't have beige very present in her palette. If I'm not mistaken, if you belong to any of the other 11, there will be a beige one more suitable for you. Be it a little colder, a little warmer, a little grayer, a little more colorful, so to speak. But beige is always present, so you can find one that fits. And of course, when we talk about beige bag, it's that bag that goes with practically everything, especially if your wardrobe is elegant or traditional. What is the moment where I know do I recommend the beige bag? If your wardrobe does not have other elements in beige color. So, if you wear everything black, for example, then I would recommend that you go with a white bag or a black bag. But that doesn't mean that the beige bag can't also look great in this look. Number 3 is the trend all jeans. The all jeans came back with everything. Even due to the trend of country, which has appeared a lot, and also a little bit of boho too. There are a lot of people who mix jeans in boho. So the all jeans came with everything. How are we going to see this all jeans appearing? We will see a lot dress, very overalls, combination of jeans, skirt, and jeans top. We will also see a lot of outfits, so shorts with a blouse or jeans with a denim blouse. You can be very creative. I know not everyone likes this trend all jeans, but I think it's more a matter of never having seen a piece that fits or the thickness of the jeans. Because denim is a fabric made from cotton. So we will find either one that is a little thicker, right, depending on the fibers, or ones that are a little lighter. And when it comes to summer, the preference is for us to opt for a fabric with a slightly lighter mesh, something that really brings a certain comfort. Nobody wants to wear a very heavy piece in the summer because it will make you hot. But, as it is a cotton item, it will also have its benefits. After all, cotton will let your skin breathe and will give you thermal comfort. So, yes, it ends up being a great option. Another detail about jeans is that they are, of course, a resistant piece. It's always worth remembering that jeans emerged as clothing to be worn by miners, people who worked in mines, diamond mines, gold mines, coal mines, and needed a piece that, in addition to protecting the skin, because it has to be a thicker piece, right, to prevent a stone or tool from falling in there, was also a resistant piece in the sense that it could be washed and that piece wouldn't fall apart completely. And then jeans ended up appearing, which became the item thus, the material that I would say was most popular, youthful, and always in fashion. Furthermore, there is also this factor. If you buy a piece all jeans, today, whether it's a dress for example, you can be sure that it will come back into fashion. Especially because this is a trend that is already giving a hey little is no longer current. So it's that trend that you can be sure that it won't disappear from one day to the next. And if you buy, for example, a set of pants and a blouse, you'll be even more at ease. Because jeans are the most popular item, right? The piece that everyone has in their closet. So you can definitely invest in this set without fear of being happy. Number 4 is POA. The summer dust comes in dresses and also in different sizes and colors. We'll have everything from that very small polka dot, very tiny, to a larger, more prominent polka dot. Polka dots, like stripes, are those prints that never go out of fashion 100%, but the POA comes in a crescendo. Since 2021, for example, we have been seeing the POA giving a little appearance and then disappearing. It's not as timeless as stripes. So, if you are looking for a trend that will stay in style 100% of the time, and that is a print, I would tell you to opt for thin to medium stripes, because they are timeless, never go out of fashion. The POA has its peaks, so to speak. He has moments when he appears more strongly and moments when he is not so prominent. I recommend POA to people who are, happy, fun. You know that person with a very sunny personality? Because it suits that personality. The polka dot is delicate, feminine. It is funny. So you, a woman who has this jovial, happy personality, which brightens up an environment by itself, will suit the POA. Just like a woman who is super romantic and super feminine will also match, for example, florals. If your personality has this fun thing, this more cheerful thing, you need to have a polka dot dress in your wardrobe. It will suit you a lot. What I recommend, bigger women who have bigger features, for example, big nose, big eyes, big mouth, will suit bigger polka dots. Minor women, more girls, with tiny features, so tiny nose, tiny eyes, tiny mouth, all of this goes well with a smaller polka dot. So, the more womanly, the more you have the option of wearing a giant polka dot. As less womanly, the more little girl, but you go towards the very small POA, because otherwise it ends up being something very inconsistent, okay? So, be careful with the size of the polka dot because it also makes a lot of difference. Number 5, these are blazers with a belt. I already brought it here on the channel, mainly in the video 60 Trends for Summer 2025. For you, the issue of the fitted blazer, which yes, is very popular, but we're also going to see the belted blazer. So, there's one trend on top of the other. I think this belted blazer trend came about because a lot of women bought the regular blazer. So, what do? Bought the normal blazer, Don't have a fitted blazer, but do you want to join the fitted blazer trend? Put a belt over it. Because if there's one thing that's in fashion for summer 2025, it's belts. I have already brought here on the channel several trends associated with belts. We will have belt with pouch, double belt, tied belt, belt with giant buckle, chain belt. So guys, the belt will be very, very present even when it comes to summer 2025. And why not associate this trend with the blazer, since the fitted blazer is in fashion? What can you do? Preferably, opt for either a belt that stands out over that blazer, or my preference, a belt that blends in color. So you will opt, for example, for a beige blazer and a beige belt. I prefer it this way. Why do I prefer it this way? Because I think that, visually, it will make you more beautiful and will avoid the cut issue that really affects short women. It's always good to remember that the majority of Brazilian women are not tall women. Most Brazilian women are under 1.6, right? So avoid pieces that cut you in half. Do you want to put on a belt? Wow, it's there with a piece, not just the blazer. Okay, girls, it's there with a dress. Do you want to add a belt to highlight your waist? Instead of putting a black belt on top of the beige dress, she puts on a beige belt. Instead of putting a beige belt on the black dress, she puts on a black belt. That it doesn't mean you have to wear everything the same color. Not at all. But it is very important that we are aware of what we are using and how we are using it, because this makes a big difference in our daily lives. Sometimes, it ends up creating an effect, an optical illusion that is not what we want. So, preferably, for this reason, put the belt and blazer in the same color, especially if you are a short woman, as is my case. We are talking a lot about boho style, elegant style, more traditional style. We are observing this. And tell me, what is your style? Take advantage and put today's magic words in the comments, which are Summer 2025 Trends. I count on your help giving me this strength in the comments. While you comment and tell me your style, we'll continue with the video. Number 6, it's the jumpsuit. Guys, the jumpsuit is cute. I consider it one of the most practical pieces for everyday life when it comes to putting it on and leaving the house. Because when you're wearing a jumpsuit, you don't have to rack your brains. Oh, which pants should I wear? Which blouse should I wear? In fact, I have to buy some jumpsuits for my wardrobe because, guys, it makes everyday life so much easier. I mainly recommend the looser, more fluid models, especially now, for the summer. The traditional denim overalls or dungarees are also still popular, as I already mentioned about all jeans today, which also go very well together. I recommend short models, right? So, the models you have there are like shorts or shorts, because they will also make your daily life easier, especially for those day-to-day tasks. So, it's time to, suddenly, go to the market, pick up the children from school, whether it's your grandchildren or your children. So, to make everyday life easier, it's a great piece. I don't think it's that practical when it comes to going to the bathroom. As a woman who has already worn a jumpsuit, you know that when it comes to going to the bathroom, it's a little annoying. We have to remove practically everything. So, if you are a woman who needs to stop to go to the bathroom all the time, it is not a piece that I recommend because of its practicality and ease. I don't know if any jumpsuit has ever come out with any ease in this regard, of you suddenly letting go and being able to go to the bathroom more easily. If it came up, tell me in the comments, because I would also really like to know. But when it comes to, I thought, what am I going to wear? I don't have much of an idea. The jumpsuit is certainly the winner. It helps a lot when putting together everyday looks. And for the summer, people give preference to linen, cotton, viscose, mistletoe, because these are the fabrics that will keep you cool the most, especially if you opt for a long jumpsuit with long pants, sleeves. In this case, it needs to be made from a natural fiber. Otherwise, you will really feel roasted inside this piece. And that's not what we want. Number 7 are the accessories in orange. That's right. We had the cherry red hit, right, last year. 2024 was populated by cherry red, and everything indicates that 2025 there will be orange. At least that's what the main fashion magazines he has brought to us. I'm not going to tell you for sure, okay, girls? I won't say it like this. Wow, everyone is going to wear orange. I can see this trend growing among fashionistas. But the orange, it's not like the cherry red. I feel like cherry red looks good on everyone, you know? Because we're going to get a cherry red that's a little darker, a little lighter, so we can play around with it a little, and we can use it in practically all the cards. But when it comes to orange, it is very solar, very vibrant, very flashy, right? It's that color that catches the eye, and not everyone looks good in orange. I, for example, guys, look terrible in orange. So it's a color that I would pass by, especially this way, to put on glasses, to put on an earring, because I know that this neon orange doesn't do me any favors. So it's that trend that I would say to you, be careful. If you are a woman who looks good in orange, play. Go out there, use and abuse orange because it's your moment to shine. Now, if you've never thought about using it, I would really tell you to be careful, because otherwise it might be that thing you buy just because that thing like, oh, I'm going with the trend. I'm going with the trend. And then, when it comes time to actually use it, you won't like it. What do I recommend? What can you opt for in this orange issue? It starts with earrings and bag, because they are accessories that are very easy to combine, and earrings are usually the cheapest accessory. So, don't arrive, for example, and throw yourself into a very prominent and especially very expensive accessory. I would say that the bag is a standout accessory, but you can opt for a smaller bag, a baguette, something a little more discreet. Now, the earring is cheaper. Now, let's say you buy glasses with orange lenses, very expensive glasses that you have, I don't know, to pay for in installments, these branded glasses, just because they're in that orange color and then you don't like them, or glasses with orange frames, and then you don't like it, you know? So, give preference to pieces that you can get just vendor more easily, or that you can store and don't need to wear as often, as is the case with earrings. Otherwise, you will really end up suffering with this color. And of course, it's always good to know which colors suit you best. Because then, if your case is like mine that you don't look good in any orange, you run away. Run away like a vampire runs away from garlic. Number 8 is the cowboy hat along with the boho. The country core came with everything, and country core will pick up several pieces there, several things that have to do with the boho also, like the issue of fringes. And then, one piece that stands out in this country core is the cowboy hat. So finally, he's back. We had the country boot hit, right? The boots Western, which came in the last 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. They appeared a lot, and now the hat comes to complement it. It's a more creative accessory. It's an accessory for a more daring woman. Here in Brazil, we also have a culture, you know, of this type of piece, especially further inland. So it's already a well-known piece. The cowboy hat here is not a piece that we have never seen before we know it. A lot of people wear it. But now, when it comes to summer 2025, it comes on a global scale. So we're going to see everyone wearing this cowboy hat. At least everyone who has this little foot there on the farm, in the country or in the country. Boho, because many people who use the style boho, it also uses country-style details, and vice versa. But if you wanted to go towards, for example, the boho, but you don't have that very romantic vibe, so you're not really into dresses, you prefer jeans, you're not really into that more delicate part. Let's say you prefer something a little heavier, you can go towards country core. The colors are very similar. It also has its femininity, its delicacy, but it has that slightly rougher, more everyday feel. And I would say that it is even easier for us to fit it into everyday life. Furthermore, it is a hat that attracts attention. It is different. So it won't be that piece that you choose there, for example, and it will go unnoticed. No, it is a piece that attracts attention. Outside of Brazil, there is a lot of culture of decorating hats. So we see a lot of girls who go there and do workshops, where they each decorate their hat with a feather or with fabric, put their initials there. It's really a moment for you to mark that piece that brings personality. There is also the question of putting a fringe there, some beads, so a lot of information. Painting this hat, guys. I've seen beautiful, magnificent paintings done on this type of hat. So I'm very happy, because apparently summer 2025 will bring with it this hat culture, which is very useful. It protects us, brings style, brings personality. If you already have it, now is the right time to use it. If you don't have it, it's time to try it, see if you like it. I think it's funny and it works very well in conjunction with the trend of boho. So, since the boho, it's fashionable, cowboy style, it's trendy, right? Country boots are trendy. Why not combine it all with a nice cowboy hat? And if you like this video, you need to be a subscriber here on the Maga Moda channel, because there are videos here every day, always at 7 o'clock at night. Always a perfect, fresh video for you talking about trends, beauty, style. You don't want to be the last to know. Arrive at the store and get lost. Should I buy it or not buy it? You don't want to go through that, right? So take advantage and sign up now. If you are already registered, check your registration. While you do that, we'll continue with the video. Number 9 are sheer skirts. People, they are bold, okay? I will tell you that it was difficult to find images of this trend, because it is not the trend that everyone will wear. It's that trend that's more for the crowd, like creative blogger. Many people from outside Brazil use it. Here, in Brazil, it is that trend that will be difficult to appear. Recently, guys, I saw a skirt like that at a wedding. Do you believe? Well, believe me, I saw it. It was a church wedding. I even thought it was a little, like, off-site, he knows. I don't recommend much. What can you do? You can wear a tulle skirt, but make sure it is a layered tulle skirt, because then it won't be as transparent. Or, a skirt that is transparent, but has a forrinho, okay? It also looks very pretty. But I really have a hard time wearing this transparent skirt, wondering where to wear it where this transparent skirt will appear. Oh, I'll tell you. Festival. When it comes to festivals, then you think like this. Rock in Rio, Lollapalooza, between others. You will see this transparent skirt, especially because of the issue of boho voltando, hippie chic, country. All this goes on, one thing leads to another, one thing leads to another, and then the transparent skirt comes with it. People usually wear shorts underneath, so it's not that transparent thing with a bikini, nor with legging underneath. It really is transparent, but kind of behaved, so to speak. But, guys, please, right? Let's determine where we are going to use this piece, because we can't use it for a baptism. We can't use it for a wedding. I saw it and it was really something that I thought like this. I wasn't in the right place at the right time, he knows. So, it's really a trend that I don't think will catch on as much. And if it's going to hit here in Brazil, I'm sure there will be a moment where this trend will hit hard beyond the festivals. At Carnival. At Carnival, you'll see it a lot, because it's something that always appears a little. So at Carnival, this trend will appear with force. But in everyday life, it's really difficult for us to see. Number 10 are shoes with applications of spikes e taxinas. Guys, the most interesting thing about this trend is that it's a trend that you can do at home. Look how cool! Who here remembers the metallic jeans, which people were taking fabric glue and laminated paper and making at home? Who remembers this trend that was popular last year? Now we're going to have the issue of shoes with fees. Not just taxa, not just spikes, we will also see a little bit of eyelets. Eyelets come with a lot of strength, but I'll bring that to you in another video. To be, the highlight are the taxes. And the most interesting thing about taxinas and spikes is that you can make them at home. You can buy, they sell them everywhere. They sell them in craft stores, but they also sell them on the internet, the applicator for you to place at home. And also the pieces, the spikes. So, you know that little boot that's left in the corner? You know that piece, that shoe that you want to revamp? You can make this application. Always carefully. always drawing first where you are going to apply it. Because otherwise, what could happen? You apply one higher up, another lower down, then there will be a salt shaker. So try to create a little pattern there if you want to do this at home. If you prefer to buy ready-made, several brands are already launching them. Here in Brazil, I haven't done any research yet, I confess. But outside the country, you will see many of these pieces. So it should probably already be appearing there, for example in Shein or Shen, right? Some people call it different, so you will definitely find it. It's a trend that I think goes well with the more urban, more rock and roll style. So, if you are a very romantic woman, who loves florals, something more pampering, more cute, you wouldn't go that route, I think it's something very radical, very heavy. That's exactly why I recommend it for the urban style, for a slightly more dramatic style. It will work. And, of course, for the rock and roll crowd, you can use it everywhere because it matches. It's part of the aesthetic, Girls. Now, another detail. This trend was popular here in Brazil and also abroad, especially in foreign countries there, 2010. And that's what I'm telling you to watch. 2010 is coming back. 2010 is coming with everything. And there are a lot of trends from 2010 appearing. Not just this issue of spikes, of little taxes. I brought these trends in this video that is appearing on the screen for you. You must already have one of these pieces in your closet, huh? So don't waste time and click on this video. Maybe you have pieces that are trending and you don't even know it. I'll wait for you.